Jalen Rose, the last time we were talking about the Thunder, Dame Lillard sent him home from the logo. Well, they're back in the news, but still not good news. Paul George had rotator cuff surgery and will miss some of training camp and is likely going to be back for the regular season. And Russell Westbrook had a procedure done to repair a torn ligament in his finger on his left hand and another minor procedure done on his repaired right knee. Jalen, what do you think about all this?
Thunder fans should be ecstatic about hearing this news.
Whoa, okay.
Because when you lose the way they did to the Portland Trail Blazers, so many people had the doom and gloom overtone based on what the future might look like, led by Russell Westbrook, Paul George, and Steven Adams, because they lost in the first round again. And I like to make sure I do this distinction. It's one thing for a player to not feel well like Joel Embiid. It's another thing totally for a guy like Paul George to have shoulder surgery.
Yeah, he wasn't feeling right.
At the end of the season. And how many games did he miss? None.
During the playoffs.
Correct.
Yeah.
So he was still out there playing on a shoulder that needed surgery and another one that he's going to get basically repaired as well. And same thing for Russ. Athletes don't just willingly go under the knife.
No.
Okay, so for both of these guys to need surgery as soon as the season ends shows me that there's still some upside to the prospects of the potential of what both of these guys can accomplish in the future, because I had them going a lot further than they actually went this year.
One thing I find interesting, and I want you to take me behind the curtain on, is the psychology of being an injured player that's still playing. Because Russell Westbrook kept this finger injury quiet. It's a finger injury on his left hand, his non-shooting hand, but so many times when someone discloses an injury that they're playing through, we look at it like an excuse. Remember with LeBron when he lost with the hand at the press conference? So we look at it like it's an excuse. But then if they don't say anything, we're like, well, maybe we wouldn't have been so critical of you had we known that you were hindered.
And I'm not going to take anything away from Portland. Like, the way Dame Dollar ended that game.
Started and ended.
And scored 50, okay, that's probably the most memorable shot I remember seeing in that situation. But with that being said, when you're going against two guys that need surgery right after the season ends, it now gives some credibility to me to why Paul George, who I basically had third in the MVP race, didn't play like that in the playoffs. Russell Westbrook, exactly what you just said. It's the gift and the curse of exposing your injury.
Exactly.
Because usually what ends up happening is cameras are everywhere. You don't have to expose it, because as soon as you hit it, you like, and then everybody knows. But he did a great job of playing through it and not allowing us to see it, which
or
is
talk
double.
about it, which is nice. And one thing I want to say, I want to say thank you on behalf of Oklahoma City, because this news is bad news on the surface, but then the way here you break it down, it's like, oh, this isn't so bad.